Hi, I'm Vicki Stark, the author of Runaway Husband. And today I want to talk about a topic that is a very important topic and very, very painful for those women who are having to deal with it. And that's the issue of co-parenting with your ex-husband. This is about women who have children still at home and who may have joint custody and be sending the kids back and forth to stay with their dad a certain percentage of the time. And it's particularly hard and particularly painful if the dad is living with the affair partner or living with another woman. And so your children are spending their time, part of the time with you and part of the time with the dad. Now, we know in divorce, this is always difficult. But in the runaway husband scenario, when he most probably has another woman that he's living with, and that other woman may have been on the scene when you were married to him, this is really, really very stressful, really very difficult. So this is a topic I haven't talked about much, and it's so important. So I'll tell you my thoughts about it at this point. First of all, we had a Jump Up divorce recovery retreat last weekend, an amazing, wonderful experience. And at the Jump Up, there were several women who have younger children, and we started to talk a bit about this. So I want to read to you something that one woman said that sort of kicked off this discussion. And she was talking about the pain of knowing that our children are in the arms of someone else, that they're getting love from someone else. And she said that from her point of view, it's not a bad thing. And that she struggled to be able to see it as a blessing, that the child is in the life of this other woman. We're not talking about the husband here, we're talking about the other woman. And that the other woman is giving affection and love to the child, and that's a benefit for the child. And so in the evaluations of the Jump Up, another woman wrote, I asked the question, was there anything in the at the retreat that really struck you? And another woman wrote that, yes, the examples people gave about taking the high road, about not taking revenge, sharing the kids for the kids' benefit, allowing kids to be loved by the ex's partner, about forgiveness being for yourself, about not making it a priority to tell the kids what their father did. These are all high morals to aspire to uphold, and I will make them goals for myself. Now, I'm sure there are many of you who are listening to this and are saying, no way, this is beyond my reach. But I'm talking about it today because in our work of healing and growing after wife abandonment, we always want to try to reach for the highest, aspire to the highest way of dealing with things and living with things. In the circumstances that these two women were talking about, the children had a positive relationship with the woman that their dad is living with. And it sounds like that woman was or is kind and loving towards the children. And believe me, I know that that's not always the case. And I know how challenging it can be if the girlfriend with whom your kids are spending time is critical of your kids or is trying to influence them, is perhaps bad-mouthing you, is not supportive of you, or has a different way of parenting that really, is very opposite of the way you want your children to be raised. So I don't have a solution for you today, but what I want to say is that I want to acknowledge that this is a tremendously challenging position for you to be in and for you to have to navigate through during those years that your children are young and are living, with parents, and for you to be able to take very good care of yourself, and to try to deal with this knowledge that your kids are spending time with this other person. I mean, in a perfect world, you could go for co-parenting therapy with your ex-husband, and that he could get on board in trying to support you in your role in this triangle of you, him, and the woman he's living with right now, in this parenting triangle. And it also means that, to a certain extent, there's not that much that you can do about it. You can't really control what's going on in that other house. And you have to try to be very kind to yourself, and also try to take the high road and not to put your kids in the middle so that they feel as though they have to choose between you and their dad. So I wanted to highlight this issue today. I wanted to tell you that from the bottom of my heart, I understand how hard this is for you. The other women in the community whose kids are grown up, for example, and are not dealing with this issue, are all behind you and understand how very, very difficult this is for you. And hopefully we can develop some programs over time to give you younger mothers the kind of support that you're going to need. So that's my thoughts for today. Please, respond in the comments, and know that we're behind you. We love you. We're supporting you. And we're acknowledging, that you really have to be a saint to be able to be co-parenting with your runaway husband. That's it for today.